News Talk 820 WBAP, now on FM at 93.3. Make it a preset. 800-288-WBAP is our number. That's 800-288-9227. The cold is here. Now, I was at my dentist's office earlier, and I love my dental folk. They are like family to us. We've been going there for so long. But she was saying, too, I almost chuckled to myself, but also there's some sincerity in there that, she's like, this is, people say it gets cold up in Chicago, but this is cold. She knows I'm from there. And the truth of the matter is that, this is nothing compared to there, but I do not in any way tisk at that, because after you're here long enough, I've been here 15 years. Before that, I was in Georgia for 4. I am totally wimpified. So I am just as much of a wimp as you are in this. This is cold. It's very, very cold. And last night, I did all my hard work to rake up the leaves. I have this almost a third of an acre I live on, and the leaves was a nightmare. Somehow my 21-year-old college student is not available, and who lives in the house, and my 18-year-old daughter, well, she was a little bit sick, so I'm not going to try to, So there I was, 2 days in a row working my butt off, and we got I don't have a mouse in my pocket. I got the leaves up, but then I had to do the obligatory cover your plants that you don't want to die. And I put more towels around. I have a freaking 1 foot layer, I swear, of towels around my outside faucets in the front and back. And of course, you make sure you unhook your hoses. If you do not wrap up your hoses that are sticking out of the side of your house, or as in my case, sticking up from the ground outside of your house, you're in for some real fun. Very expensive fun. But really, the battle is also horrible if you're inside of your house, and inside of your house at your pipes. If you don't take care of those, you are in for a very expensive and not fun ride. I've never gone through this. I hope I never do. But I will tell you, the last night I did forget, in fact, to open up my cabinets where my outdoor wall is for the kitchen. And also, I like to put a space heater in the laundry room where the pipes are on the outside of the wall, too. I think they've had relatively recent construction, and I don't think there's an issue, but I'm not going to find out the hard way. I will not find out the hard way. So we're going to go over this, and I want to ask you some questions. Also, people are flooding the grocery stores. I understand flooding the hardware stores to get the stuff that you may not have that you need. We've all been there. I understand that. But what I don't understand is people rushing to the grocery store like an apocalypse is coming, and you need to prepare for 1 or 2 weeks of stuff. And I really don't understand why people go and they buy out all the milk, the bread, and the eggs, as if we're making one massive piece of French toast that will feed the entire Metroplex. None of this makes sense to me. But I want to talk to you. How do you get your home ready for this cold weather? I've described some of mine. How do you get your home ready for cold this winter? This weather, I should say, this cold weather. And what did you do? What did you go buy to prepare your house for that? Frost cloth. By the way, my frost cloth was a nightmare. No matter how many things I stick into the ground, and no matter how many rocks and other things I put on there, half of them are flying in the wind an hour later. And I saw one of them on my camera. I'm like, I am not going out there. That bush it's on its own. Good luck. But how did you get your home ready for this cold weather? What did you buy? What are you keeping your eyes on around the home that you're concerned about? As we have, I counted how many hours, by the way, of below freezing we have, and just typically from what I saw on my little iPhone, the official weather forecaster of the Chris Crock Show is my iPhone, other than our chief meteorologist, Brad Barton. But in addition to going out and getting all my stuff, that I've been mentioning and preparing it, I keep my eyes on 2 things really inside of the house that really, really matter. And number 1, I nuke the front and rear faucets. But number 2, I really am worried about my 2 pipes that are on the outside wall. If you are worried about your pipes on the inside of your house, you are worried about the wrong thing. Enough of what I'm saying. Let's hear what you do. How do you get your home ready for this cold weather? What did you go out and buy? What are you keeping your eyes on around the home that you're most concerned about? And why do people flood grocery stores and buy so much stuff? What are you preparing for? I mean, this is really, it's annoying to me. We went grocery shopping over the weekend, and my wife did, at least. I was doing all that hard yard work outside. She went and did a lot of other stuff, thankfully. And but we bought what we needed. We didn't buy for an apocalypse. And what do you keep your temperature at, too? Because I don't know if you caught this. ERCOT, the Electric Reliability Council of Texas wants you to know that there's a weather watch, which none of us really knows what weather watch means, and I'm not going to even go into it with you because, what? A weather watch? What do you mean? Do we live in a third world country? Do we not have an electric grid? Do we not have an electric grid that's operable? Are we in some South African country in the middle of a desert? No. This is America. This is Texas. So ERCOT's asking us to keep our energy usage, don't go too high. You know what? I'm not changing anything. I don't know about you, but I'm not changing anything. I live in Texas. We have our own grid, and I'm going to live my life. And if it breaks because it's not ready, well, then it should have been fixed by our governor or our legislature. And I've gone into that in detail with you, which we can do again tonight if you want. But I just want to focus on what you're doing to prepare, what your biggest concerns are on your house, and where do you keep your temperature at? Will you be lowering your electricity usage so that we don't have another grid problem? I will not. 800-288-WBAP is our number. 3 lines wide open. 3 lines are open. 800-288-9227. We have enough time to pop you on the air right now, actually, if you call in. So my biggest concerns are both my kitchen cabinet, that's where my sink is. It's on the outside wall. My other one is the laundry room, as I mentioned. That's on the outside wall, too. I've never had this happen in the 15 years I've been here, but, there's always a first, and I don't want there to be a first in my home. Gregory in South Lake, you are on WBAP. Hello.
Hello, Chris.
Hello, my friend.
Back.
Hello, my friend. I know. I'm estranged from my own show.
Well, that's okay. Jeff did a great job while you were doing the morning show.
Thank you.
The big thing I'm always concerned about is the pipes.
Yes, me too.
So what I do is I buy those insulated plastic covers for the exterior faucet.
Oh yeah. The rubber stuff around it, right?
Yeah, it has foam. It's foam, and it's.
You know what you mean? It looks like a pool noodle almost, but it's black.
Right.
I forgot something. Well, can I tell you something? Go ahead, sorry. What?
Yeah, but they come in different colors. But I've always bought these particular ones from Home Depot, and whenever I buy them, I buy them in pairs. So I'll buy like 4 because the foam that mates to the wall, those can deteriorate over time. So I always want to have a spare set. The other thing I did
real fast. You reminded me of something. Can I tell you? I forgot I did that. I forgot I did that. I leave that year round. The foam. I tape it around there with whatever you call it. Whatever that is, duct tape. And
duct tape.
So I had that too. I forgot all about that. What else do you do, sir?
Well, I run all the cold water faucets at kind of a trickle, not dripping, but literally running. And I keep the cabinets open. I keep the heat up in the house.
What temperature do you set it at?
65 all night.
You know what's interesting, too? I keep in mind it's 67, and they're telling us to do it at 68. Now, here's the real truth, though, that you know this and I know this. My thermostat is not the one you have. My thermostat location is, if you did a comparable location in your home, is probably in a different area, so it is a little difficult because, like, with different thermostats, with different locations, with different homes, it is hard to judge. Your 65 might be my 67, but they're telling us to keep it at 68. I might be hot at 68. I don't know. Now, do you get as extreme?
Well, 68 is basically an energy saving recommendation more than anything else. And during the day, as long as it's not freezing outside, I'll turn the heat off and I'll let it get down to 65 or 63 here.
Wow.
It doesn't bother me.
Wow.
It doesn't bother me at all. And plus, it saves on the heating bill.
It sure does. This is the time of year when your electricity bill goes way down and your gas bill goes way up. And it seems to almost be an even trade-off, unfortunately. Now, we don't come ahead.
That's true.
I appreciate you, Gregory. Thank you. Yeah, he reminded me about that the foam stuff I put on a couple years ago. Dang. So I have that too. I think my pipes will be warmer with all the stuff I put on it than they would be if they were inside. Maybe not that much, but I'm going to tell you something though about the dripping faucets, because they're saying that in some of the news coverage today too, and I'm going to tell you why I strongly disagree with that. It's not because I'm a master plumber, but I know somebody who employs a lot of plumbers. Sandra in Rockwall, you are next, as well as this. Why do I not drip my faucet tonight? And we're going to talk about frostbite, too. How cold does it have to be to get frostbite? I have a very telling piece of information for you on that. All that next. 4 lines open. 800-288-WBAP is our number. 800-288-9227. How do you get your home ready for the cold weather? What did you buy? What are you keeping your eyes on around your house that you're concerned about? And why do people flood grocery stores and buy up so much stuff? What are you preparing for, an apocalypse? What do you keep your temperature at as well? All that is next. 4 lines open. 800-288-WBAP is our number. It's Chris Crock Show on News Talk 820 WBAP and now on FM at 93.3. News Talk 820 WBAP, now on FM at 93.3. Make it a preset. 800-288-WBAP is our number. That's 800-288-9227. Hey, all right, so the ice apocalypse is upon us. Nothing too bad yet, just cold temperatures. I did have to remind myself driving in, seeing some of the overpasses and stuff. You'll see some possible glazing over with the roads, and then of course my SUV is all filled with salt, like I'm in Chicago or something where I'm from, up on the sides of the car and everything. But that can be washed off, no problem. But I had to remind myself when I'm going over bridges and overpasses, that's where the action happens. But people are still going, in some cases, still slow. It's like, get out of the way, stay out of the fast lane, go to the slow lane. But what do you keep your temperature at home as we're all preparing for the snow apocalypse? We're supposed to get a lot of snow coming in, by the way. Well, 1 to 4 inches, pretty much the whole Metroplex, Thursday through Friday, like Thursday morning through Friday, I guess afternoon or something of that nature. How do you get your home ready for this cold weather? What did you go out and buy? What are you keeping your eyes on around the house, the most concerning things? And why do people flood the grocery stores and buy so much stuff? What are you preparing for? The apocalypse? Are you hoarding? What's wrong with you? Shame on you. And what do you keep your temperature at? Will you be lowering your electricity usage so that we don't have a grid problem? That ERCOT tells us we're on a weather watch? What a joke. Yeah. 800-288-WBAP is our number. We got 3 lines open, 800-288-9227. More details on frostbite. I sure felt like I might be getting nipped at frostbite nipping at me last night when I was out there, and I just tore off the bandage and said, I'm going back out there to finish what I got to do. It was just so cold. And then I looked at the thing, it's only 31. I'm like, oh my gosh, I've been so wussified. All right, 800-288-WBAP is our number. And by the way, I'm not dripping my faucets. You do as you will. I'm not an expert, but Jim Dutton is my friend and the host of Texas Home Improvement from noon to 2 every Saturday afternoon here on WBAP. But Jim has told me this for years. We had him on Friday night. Rivers freeze. Why do rivers freeze? They're moving. They're not supposed to freeze. Moving water does freeze. It can freeze. So he doesn't think the dripping helps at all, and I'm with him. I don't do it. I think I might be willing to do it if it's like super extreme cold, but we don't usually have much of that. But let me tell you, the freezing temperatures are going to be below freezing for 17 hours as one of the forecasts today or yesterday I counted. So I'm like, okay, that's serious. 5 hours is nothing. All right, let's go to your call, though, 800-288-WBAP. Sandra and Rockwall. Then we're going to go to Aubrey and Richardson. Sandra, you're on WBAP. What's up?
Hi, how are you?
Good, how are you?
I'm well, thank you. I have a thing about that dripping faucet stuff.
Mm-hmm.
We don't drip our toilets, and that water still flows.
By God's blood, by God's what do you call it? Grace. It keeps flowing. What a dang good point. Drip your toilets. Trip your toilet. Sleep with your arm reaching out to a string attached. Just when you move around, it'll flush constantly. What is this crap? Look at you. You must be a rocket scientist.
I am. You should have no clue.
And they don't tell us to leave your bathtub dripping.
Nope, they don't.
Why don't they tell you to leave your outside faucet dripping? Ah!
I don't know.
Probably because it would freeze up.
Waste money? I don't know.
I like that, Sandra. Yes. Anything else?
Well, I have my thermostat set at 70, and it's not going any lower because my house faces the north, and it's kind of cold in the front of my house. So mine's not going any lower.
70 is high. I would be sweating my bleep off, but that's okay.
Well, it kind of just sits there all year round.
Yeah.
So.
Well, there you go.
One thing I have stocked up, well, I didn't stock them up, but I went out and purposely bought is de-icer for my car because you can't get in your car sometime and your windows are frozen over.
Wait,
if you don't
de-icer?
Have a garage.
What do you mean? Like, what's de-icer for your car? Is it like something you can pour onto your car or something?
Yeah, it's in a squirt bottle. It's made by Prestone. It's yellow. And
Never heard of it.
It melts the ice right off.
Never heard of it. That's interesting. Well, okay.
Oh, it's the best because sometimes your doors are frozen.
Oh, I know what you mean.
Your window,
absolutely. Your windshield wipers, yes.
Locks, yeah.
Do you just spray that over when you have ice on your windshield instead of scraping up? I just spray that on there. We're so pathetic. We're such pathetic creatures in this first world of ours.
Yeah, some of the Walmarts and Targets carry it. Some of them don't, but a lot of the auto parts stores do.
Okay.
Now you can get it when you get your melt away.
There you go. There you go.
So, anyways, that's another one.
Great call, Sandra.
The thing I have, is I have in-home mobile charging stations, which are like in-home generators that don't emit gas.
Oh, wow.
They're a battery backup.
Okay.
So I have little ones by the bed because we use them for the electric blankets.
Yep.
And we use the big one for the refrigerator to keep it running. So you can just do whatever. We have electric throws everywhere, and every room has a little charging station. So
I heard something about these chargers you can get and stuff that are like, I'm not saying yours is solar or anything, but like this one solar thing that's like it'll last you, keep your refrigerator going for days. For days?
Yeah.
But for days. And I'm not knocking you. I'd rather have one than not, don't get me wrong. But for days. I mean, what do you do after? What do you do after days? You just die.
You charge it up, okay, and then the solar will recharge that battery.
Yeah. Okay, I guess
if you get the solar panels, which I have mine, as well, but it'll still run your refrigerator for
you're on
5 days.
You're on it, Sandra. Thank you very much for your call. Aubrey in Richardson, you're on WBAP.
Hey, my friend, I'm actually in Mansfield, just across the way, but the same weather's coming our way, I
You're
guess.
in Richardson Field.
Yeah, something like that. But, hey, I was laughing a little bit a while ago because of all things, my wife's sitting on an errand to Tom Thumb to pick up some eggs, bacon, and sausage. But
she told you to pick up everything in the store. Everything in the store.
But we are genuinely out of all of the above, and so. But I was laughing because I too get annoyed anytime I go to the store when someone has heard that. Oh my gosh, we got a crazy!
Oh my gosh, we gotta buy all the eggs, all the bread, all the milk.
So, say a little prayer for me. I'm not in the store yet. I don't know what's about.
I hope you don't get knifed. I hope you don't get knifed over some butter. All right, brother.
But I also, do the thing.
Let me put you on hold. I'm going to let you finish off your call without being rushed. Stand by, Aubrey. I want you to be able to finish off on the backside. Stand by. You tell me how you get prepared and what you're doing. We got 3 lines open. 800-288-WBAP is our number. What do you keep your temperature at? Will you be lowering your electricity usage so that we don't have a grid problem with this weather? And why do people flood grocery stores and buy so much stuff? People like Aubrey in Richardson's Field calling us right now, although he claims he's not buying up everything. And, what are you doing if you're buying up all this food? Are you preparing for an apocalypse? And what are you keeping your eyes on around the house? What are the most important things that you're keeping track of in this cold weather to make sure it doesn't go wrong? And how do you get your home ready for this cold weather? 800-288-WBAP is our number, 800-288-9227. Coming up next, how many snowplows does the state of Texas have? And more importantly, how many do our local municipalities have? I'll give you some of those details. And then also, as NTTA is prepping roads with brine ahead of freezing weather, and as his text dot. All that coming up next. Chris Crock, 800-288-WBAP is our number, 800-288-9227 on News Talk 820 WBAP, and now on FM at 93.3. News Talk 820 WBAP, and now on FM at 93.3. We're stuck at a 90s rave here, and we need some help down here. Anyways, News Talk 820 WBAP, now on FM at 93.3. Make it a preset. 800-288-WBAP is our number. That's 800-288-9227. Well, the city of, different cities have different snowplows or things, but 700 snowplows the whole state of Texas has, reportedly, according to WFA TV Channel 8, one of our media partner. TxDOT as well. That's 700 total. But Dallas, supposedly they say here, 7 counties of Dallas district spokesperson for TxDOT says 100 pieces of equipment, more than 100 pieces, scraping snow, ice, etc. Louisville has 7 snowplows. Well, hey. Brine that has been sprayed or dumped all over the place. My car's evidence of that. Salt, water mixture, sand as well to prevent snow and ice from sticking on the roads before precipitation falls. And that process has already begun. So they've been brining for some time now. Doesn't mean you can drive around. We're going to get to driving too in a second, because there are so many pet peeves I have about people driving in this kind of weather, particularly when there's ice and snow is coming. Actually, Thursday and Friday, we're going to get 1 to 4 inches of snow, and reportedly it'll be no will be missed. No areas of the Metroplex will be missed. So you can look forward to that on Thursday and Friday. Of course, a lot of us like the snow too, as long as we're not sliding in it. But Fort Worth, They use brine to pre-treat 48 hours before rain and snow is forecast, and they have 30 trucks at a time going out at any given moment. Plano, Irving, Allen, they don't have snowplows, but they have sand trucks. All right. We'll continue on with the how you get your home ready, what your biggest concerns are, and why you go shopping as if it's the apocalypse and buying everything in the world when it gets cold. I don't know why. But then we're also going to add in the roads. NTTA prepping the roads with brine ahead, as we just mentioned. Who do you tend to blame for the accidents on icy roadways? Because, we had that horrifying crash by downtown Fort Worth several years ago, not too many years ago, but probably 3 or 4 years ago. And all these people crashed and all this stuff. I don't blame the people with brining. I blame the drivers, myself included. If you're going to blame something primarily, I'm going to blame the driver. It's your responsibility to know what's going on and to drive appropriate for conditions, not TxDOT's. So that is a big one to me. And also, what's the most annoying things you've seen people doing on icy roads? I'm going to share you a bunch of mine, but I want to hear from you. 800-288-WBAP is our number, 800-288-9227. And also, I wanted to check in with Aubrey, who's in Richardson's Field, a.k.a. Mansfield and Richardson. Not very close together, but there he is, and he's going to the grocery store. Your wife has sent you to get groceries. Is that accurate, sir?
Well, just those 3 items, because we're genuinely out. But I was calling.
Yeah, you had something else. Go ahead. Mm-hmm.
One of your guys had mentioned, or it was you, talking about the running of the faucets dripping, and I think you said you don't do it.
Yeah.
I usually forget to do it, by the way. But I heard today, just again, TikTok, I don't know if the guy was a plumber, a lawyer, or a PE coach. I don't, maybe none of the above. But he was saying definitely stream your faucets from the hot water side. Don't remember why he said that, but he said, I think it runs through both that way. But again, I don't know. I don't do either one, but maybe I should. Maybe I'll find out the hard way if I don't. But we have that new modern home that doesn't have the
PEX.
Older type.
It has PEX.
Yeah,
PEX.
something like that.
I would. I don't know. I have some PEX in my house, but most is not. Most is copper, and so PEX. My understanding of PEX is, because I did talk to my builder that we had that massive construction project I mentioned for a year or two before it finally ended. When I would complain about things, but A PEX pipe is rubbery, kind of or plastic and rubbery, and it expands. So when it freezes up, it just expands. It doesn't, break. There's probably still some precautions you'd want to take, but I don't know. But the idea here is from my friend Jim Dutton, who hosts Texas Home Improvement, our weekend home improvement show from noon to 2 here on WBAP. He also owns his own plumbing and foundation business, and he says rivers freeze, and they do. And I know it. What that means is moving water can freeze. And so he doesn't do that, nor does he recommend doing it. Some people today I read in these many-fold stories that come out all over the place when this happens every year, every couple of times per wintertime, is one of them said today have both hot and cold running together. I mean, this you can make up all sorts of crap. Stand on your head upside down, spin around 3 times, turn on the cold faucet for 5 seconds, then turn on the hot one for 5, and then shut it all off, and you're fine. I mean, whatever. So basically, I agree that we don't need to trip it. I may have resorted to that in the extreme cold we've had, but we ain't got that right now. I wish you all the best, my friend.
Well, here's the deal. We keep our thermostat at 65, and I guarantee my wife will still have her fan on. So there you go.
Oh, wait, for the noise, though, or for the actual feeling of the cool air on the fan? Which one is it for?
More for the noise, and it drives me crazy, but more for the noise.
My wife does that. She made me do that from now on. She brainwashed me, and I can't sleep without some white noise as well.
I hear you, my friend.
All right, man.
Good evening, buddy.
Take care. You too. Go make your big bacon sausage omelet and egg omelet when you get home. From hoarding all of that those breakfast materials, sir. I'm just kidding. 800-288-WBAP is our number, 800-288-9227. So, NTTA prepping the roads with brine. Oh, on the whole thing with your house, here's what you do. If you have pipes on any of your outside walls, that's what you need to be concerned about. My kitchen is on the outside wall. Therefore, I open up the kitchen cabinets. When it's really cold, I actually have a space heater, blowing pushing some warm air in there just to be safe. And I also put a space heater in my laundry room, which is on the outside wall. That is from new construction. It probably is not going to have any issues, but I'm not going to find out the hard way. So I just do that and assume that it needs to be warmed up there. But as far as driving, what are the most annoying things you see people doing on icy roads? And who do you tend to blame for accidents on icy roadways? I tend to blame the person driving the vehicle and not TxDOT and not the NTTA. 800-288-WBAP is our number. That's 800-288-9227. The most annoying things you see people doing on icy roads. Well, there's several of them. One of them is when I see a guy or a woman who's got a truck, and they think they can go faster than us because they have a truck. But the fact of the matter is you might think you can, and you might still be shaking your head going, no, Chris, you're wrong. But you would be wrong, not me. Why? Because you still have what's called rubber for tires. Now, obviously, there's more than just rubber that goes into our tires. But the thing is, though, your tires are pretty much made out of the exact same materials that my tires are. What does that mean? When your tire touches ice, it's just like when my tire touches ice. What happens when our tires together, holding hands, singing Kumbaya, touch ice? They can slip. So seeing these people with their trucks go extra fast thinking they can because I'm waiting for them to fly off the side of the road. I don't want them to get hurt, but I'm watching them going, you are an idiot and you're about to fly off the side of the road. I don't want that to happen, but that's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking you're an idiot. Having a truck does not mean you can go any faster or handle anything better as far as being on asphalt regarding ice or snow. Okay? That's a huge pet peeve of mine. There are several others that we're going to talk about coming up next. Our number is 800-288-WBAP is our number, 800-288-9227. Now, wait a minute. David in Hearst, he's up next, and he is saying something. He's kind of echoing something I'm saying. It'll be fantastic to hear from him. Plus, your call. Who do you tend to blame for accidents on icy roadways? Because it's just getting started today. And I had to remind myself coming in, I'm like, oh, crap, that's right. It could be ice Slow down on the bridges, overpasses, and such, and keep your whereabouts, your wits about you. And then what are the most annoying things you see people doing on icy roads? One of my big ones is trucks. People have trucks speeding. There's more. I'll share with you next on the Chris Crock Show on 820 WBAP and now on FM at 93.3. 800-288-WBAP is our number. 800-288-9227. This bleep could get real. Real fast before we go to David's call in Hearst. Listen to this forecast I just came across from the Fake News Weather Channel. Listen to this.
We got a lot to watch with this one. Late Wednesday through Friday, the timing for the South Central, the Mid-South, the Southeast. Widespread areas of at least 5 inches of snowfall. Some areas could see up to even over 8, 10, 12 inches. Icy roads across sections of the Mid-South would also lead to difficult travel, and freezing rain, like we saw with Winter Storm Blair, would lead to power outages in the areas that get some significant ice accumulations. European model shows 12 to 18 inches across parts of North Texas, a large footprint of 8 to 12.
Excuse me, what? 12 to 18 inches. 12 to 18 inches across. Honey, go to the store, buy everything in sight, we're gonna die! Now we need some help down here. I think we should call in the National Guard. I think we need to call in the National Guard. We need Lieutenant General Russell Honoré to come back from retirement to save our Texas butts. Hold on. Here we go. Let's go back a little bit. Here, watch.
European model shows 12 to 18 inches across parts of North Texas, a large footprint of 8 to 12 inches from...
Bigfoot is going to take a big stinky you-know-what on top of North Texas come this week. What is this? These are the people who tell us climate change is real. You're going to get 12 to 18 inches this week in North Texas. Okay. And unicorns from the sky will come down with the snow. And Barack Hussein Obama will come down shooting rainbows out of his wrists. All right. I'm going to get... What are the... I'll just ask you right away. Sorry. What are the most annoying things you see people doing on icy roads? For me, trucks speeding, thinking they're not going to fly off the road when they have the same rubber in my tires that I do on mine. How about going fast in a slow lane? Oh, there's more, but let's go to David in Hearst. He's called in at 800-288-WBA. Unlike you, he's done the right thing by calling in. 800, see how I do this, Producer Matt? Producer Matt and I are new together tonight, and you got to punish the people that don't call, and you got to attack them, okay? All right, there you go. All right, here's David in Hearst, who's done a great job. He's calling it tonight, unlike some other people. Hi, David.
Man, am I glad I did the right thing. I'd hate to get that chastised.
Yeah, you don't want to be attacked in the parking lot because people know you're not listening to me. Calling it on the show. Go ahead, sir.
Well, one thing that I'm going to say before we get there is that 12 to 18 inches, how warm was it on Saturday, and how long does it take the ground to cool down before snow is going to start accumulating?
Well,
let's think about that.
But do you actually, do you believe this? I mean, should they be saying this? And I've never heard of this.
I've been looking at my iPhone app all day of them saying 9 to 11 inches, and I'm like, who in the...
Wait a minute.
Lost their mind?
Wait a minute. You're telling me... Hold on a second. You're telling me your iPhone tells you 9 to 12 inches?
My weather app that is through AccuWeather on the iPhone says 9 to 11 inches on Thursday. 95% chance.
Is this real?
If I pushed my freezer outside Thursday and it started snowing, and I might get the 9 inches. I might.
Oh my gosh, this is insane. Maybe it's going to happen. Maybe we should be panicking. Maybe I'm the one who will be mocked roundly for days and weeks incessantly on this own show.
You won't be alone. They can mock me.
Oh my gosh.
What annoys me is drivers with a four-wheel drive vehicle that think they can go 80 miles an hour in the snow, and they don't have any more stopping power than I do in my two-wheel drive vehicle. And they come running up on you, and you're like gritting your teeth going, oh, my gosh, they're fixing to.
Yeah, so that's exactly one of my biggest pet peeves is an idiot with a truck, a four-wheeler, or like a four-wheel drive truck, or even a two-wheel. I don't care. A truck does not perform any better on ice than a car does. It's still rubber on ice.
Well, they still have the stopping power with a 4-wheel drive as I do with a 2-wheel drive. They can get going better and get up that speed, but they can't stop any better than anybody else.
No.
Now, I'm going to say, back to your original question about the responsibility, when I was a teenager, a long, long time ago, I had an accident and got a ticket. And the ticket was failure to control speed.
There you
go. That's exactly what happens. That's exactly what should be happening today. Is you're the driver of the vehicle. You're 100% responsible.
That's exactly right. That is exactly right. When some idiot goes and drives full speed into heavy fog and crashes, it's not the fog's fault. When somebody drives like a fool and there's ice on the road, it is not TxDOT's fault because it didn't spray enough brine 5 minutes earlier. It is your fault for driving too fast for condition. What were you saying, sir?
I said, or the engineer that built the road.
That's exactly right. Yeah, they tried to pull all that crap, and guess what? I was right earlier on, and many people, including some liberal Democrat politicians, were blaming the state of Texas for our conservative bent and how we manage our roads and all this other stuff and farming it out to other people. I appreciate your call, David. All right, we have time for another call. Let's go to Adam in Justin. Adam, you are live on WBAP. Welcome.
Hey, so it's good to talk to you. I would have called sooner, but I was working on someone's pool. But,
you're working on someone's pool right now?
Yeah, I'm a pool boy, and they freak out.
Oh, you stay away from my house, sir. If you're a pool, are you a cabana boy too? You stay the heck away from. You stay away from my house, pool boy.
It costs extra for the banana hammock.
I know you're kind. Okay, so you were unclogging some pipes, yes?
His pump shut off for some reason, so I had to get it running again.
Oh boy. Okay, so but you were at somebody's house as a pool boy. Are you serious?
Yes, sir.
Okay. What are you doing with the pool this time? What are you doing right now with the pool? That's a good point. You got a pool point here. Go ahead, sir.
His motor shut off, and it ended up being the capacitor, so he needed it running. Otherwise, it'd freeze and crack all his equipment. So
okay, now so we got a flux capacitor from you, which is good. And then what do people need to know that have pool? Were you calling for something else or just the pool part?
No, I was calling to talk about people slamming on their brakes on icy roads.
Yes,
that's what I hate. But
yes, okay. So
it would be.
Go.
Go ahead.
Yeah, go. I'm sorry. I keep shutting you down. Go ahead.
I was going to say a pool tip would be don't shut your pool off. Just do anything you can to keep it running. That's the best thing you can do.
Right on. Okay. And then your most annoying thing is when people slam on their brakes?
Right. Like when they hit ice, as soon as they start to slide, just big slam on their brake and then just go spinning down the road.
That's exactly right. What do you do when you hit some ice? What should you do?
Just nothing. Let off everything.
That's exactly right.
Wheel.
Yes, that's exactly. You let off the gas. You coast into it. The time to brake is before you're in it. If it's too late, you do not touch anything. You just hold the wheel steady. And then you have to be prepared. If it does kick out, you're supposed to go in the opposite direction. Adam, thanks for your call, and please stay the heck away from my house, sir, as the pool boy. All right, your call next. We have 4 lines open, 800-288-WBAP, 800-288-9227. Talking about the bad roads coming this way. Who do you tend to blame for accidents on icy roadways? What's the most annoying things you've seen people doing on icy roads? I haven't even gotten to my whole list. That is all coming up next. Plus, one area of the Metroplex invaded by feral hogs. How do we deal with that? Next.